We now continue with Sean's interview, the conclusion of an interview with John and Cindy McCain.
Let me ask about the negativity in terms of the media. There was a recent study that came out. 57% of print and broadcast were negative against you when it comes to Senator Obama.
Only 57%? It was more than that.
Well, this was this study, but Senator Obama had more positive, obviously, than a negative. I watched The View. I saw Senator Obama on The View. I saw Michelle Obama on The View. And then I saw you guys on The View. What is that been
you just
the way it is?
You play the hand you're dealt, and the fact is you rely on the good sense of the American people. As we pound into this last week, Americans are starting to focus. That's why it's swinging. That's why it's swinging our way, Sean. As you know, you rely on them, and frankly, to complain about the media just wouldn't be.
I would have liked if The View asked the question of Michelle Obama, why did you say America's a downright mean country in 2008? I think that question would have been asked of you, considering how hard they were on you.
It was quite an experience there.
Oh,
but
Elizabeth, when Rosie was there, so it was a little tough.
Elisabeth Hasselbeck, was with, with Sarah.
We interviewed her last night.
Isn't she marvelous?
Well,
did a
we're
great
good friends.
job.
She did
She's
a great
lonely
job.
person.
She's got. I thought Alan was tough. She's got it really tough. She's got. Joy recently called me dangerous, so I get a little heat too. I'd be negligent if I wouldn't talk about Senator Biden's comments that Senator Obama would be tested in the first 6 months, that there will be, mark my words, an international crisis. Now, there's been a lot of issues involving national security. I don't know if you heard this, but French President Sarkozy today used the term talking about Senator Obama's plan on Iran is basically naive and utterly immature, was the phrase he used. That's meeting with rogue dictators. Iran's a tiny country, not a serious threat. Putting all that together, should America be concerned about his ability to be commander-in-chief?
I think they should be concerned, and I think they should, and they'll make a decision. But the point is that he's been wrong. He was wrong about the surge. He still won't admit that he was wrong. He was wrong about when he said that Iran is a tiny threat. He was wrong when he said that Georgia should exercise restraint. But the point is that Senator Obama has no experience and no background to make the judgments. And I wish that every American could hear the tape of the way that Senator Biden said that. He said, mark my words, there'll be an international crisis. Sean, because he's untested and he will have to be tested. The one thing about these people that we're up against, I've been tested and they know it.
Does that telegraph to the world, I mean, during the debates, the issues that he voted to cut off the funding for the troops during the war, that he...
After pledging that he wouldn't.
He accused the troops of air raiding villages and killing civilians. He said he'd pull out, I'll end this war in 2009. He's since adjusted that. What does that mean? Does that mean we lose the war?
Well, when Harry Reid announced it, he agreed with him, and there's no doubt that if we'd have done what Senator Obama wanted to do, we'd have come home, our troops would have come home, there would have been more sectarian violence, an al-Qaeda beachhead, greater Iranian influence in the region, and we'd probably had to have gone back and with further sacrifice. But I think the other point here is that Senator Obama just, I mean, when I hear him say some of these things, for example, about Colombia, that the reason why he was against a free trade agreement with our best friend in the whole hemisphere is because that labor leaders are being killed, that's an old saw that the union leaders drug out years ago. There has been dramatic improvement in Colombia. Colombia is helping us fight this struggle against Russia. The president of Colombia rescued 3 Americans who were being held captive by the FARC that are working with the people he would sit down with, Hugo Chavez. But so it's just, he does not have the experience to make the right judgment.
Last question. Senator Obama seems to be preparing his victory speech. He's saying, the righteous wind is at our back, $2 million party in Grant Park. We've got all the Acorn controversy. Do you think he's coasting to victory? Is he picking out the drapes a little early?
I I think that more than one candidate has read the polls at the time and not the trends, and I guarantee you one thing. We'll be up late on election night, and I guarantee you, with rallies like these that going on in the next 7 days, we're going to win this election.
You worried about the Acorn controversy, voter fraud?
Sure I am. Sure I am. Sure I'm worried about those controversies, and I'm particularly worried in Ohio.
Yeah. You're worried more than him, according to
I always worry. That's my job. But if I could say something, if I may, I mentioned when I introduced my husband that he took some serious votes and some serious stands. When our son was serving over there, I was just like every other mother. I was worried for my son, but I've never been prouder of my husband than when he took those difficult stands with our son there, and I supported him wholeheartedly. It was just really, it was an unusual feeling for me because I was torn in both directions, and I'm so proud of what he did.
Well, the surge strategy was proven right.
It worked. The surge worked.
But I just disagreed with you on McCain Feingold. We've had a lot of arguments over the years.
Look, when I'm in the White House, you're coming in there, and we're going to continue that debate.
All right. I'm a maverick too, you know.
We'll even let your teammate in with you, old Alan. Tell Alan he'll come in too.
He gets to come in too?
Absolutely.
Senator, good to see you. Best of luck in the next week.